This is the Mariners POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Seattle Mariners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Baseball's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball's really weird.
Yeah.
Mariners drop the third out of 4 against the Texas Rangers. 6-4 was the final score today. Goes to extra innings. Rangers get 2 in extra innings in the 10th inning. And then the bottom of the 10th, Randy ties it with another magical moment, which we thought could have been meant a lot more today.
Sure.
It ends up not. I honestly forget everything that happened before extra innings because there was so much that happened even in extra innings. So let's break it all down. It's almost like for me a little reality check today after kind of the high that we've been on the last 2 days. And it would have been awesome to get this win, but I almost feel like if the Mariners had gotten this win, it would have had more of an impact than them losing this game, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Because, like, they were down for most of the game. They were getting dominated by Merrill Kelly. This just kind of had Mariners loss written all over it, and they battled back. They tied the game. They take it to extras, and then, you go down again. It's not like, all right, fine, we battled back, and then you tie it again, and it wasn't meant to be today. So, Chris Crawford, what is your original thought about this loss?
Yeah, I keep coming back to thank God they won yesterday, but and I won't say the magic from that has been erased. That was still one of my favorite games they've played all year. One of my favorite games that certainly the best game that we've covered together. But this one sucks. This one sucks because you had a lot of opportunities. You had a lot of chances to win this game and you didn't. And there were some really cool moments. The Randy Homer, that catch that Julio made in center is one of the best catches that I've seen all year. The absolute brain fart that was Merrill Kelly in the 5th inning. My goodness gracious. I mean, that was some Texas education if you've ever seen it before. This was a frustrating loss. It's a frustrating one, but I do keep thinking back to thank God they won yesterday because the vibes would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
The vibes would be pretty bad heading to facing Jacob deGrom against Logan Evans. And all due respect to Evans, he's not Jacob deGrom.
No, it's not.
He's not Jacob deGrom. So, man, the worst thing that can happen is a series split. But I will tell you this, and we'll, of course, talk about it on Sunday. A series split will feel awfully disappointing after you win those first 2 games.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a quick second because you probably forgot to plug in your microphone because I'm hearing your normal computer sounds instead of... That is
correct. We'll be back in just 1 second.
I'll just mention while he's doing that, it takes him 2 seconds to do that, I feel a little differently. For me, it's like, all right, you had the 2 huge wins, and yes, there are some frustrating moments from this game, but you battled back multiple times. Luis Castillo was not good today. We'll talk about that here in just a second when Chris returns. You got some pretty dang unlucky in both Brash's and Legamina's extra innings outings, just because it was the softest contact that was dropping in the luckiest places. And that happens. That's baseball. It's kind of how it goes. It's like I said, a little bit of a reality check.
How do I sound now? Do I sound beautiful?
Yes, you sound excellent. Not a huge difference, but I can just tell. So
I'm glad because I looked to the right here and I saw just nothing plugged in. So you were good call. Thanks for looking out for me, buddy.
Of course. Yeah, I got you. All right, let's start with the start. I almost forget what the start was, but now that I'm looking at it again, yes. Luis Castillo goes 4 1/3. In a little bit unexpected fashion. And when Dan pulls him, that's about as upset as I've seen Luis Castillo. First, just go through his outing, and then we'll talk about getting pulled at that point in the game. Go ahead.
So I have a lot to say about Dan Wilson today, but I will say that I didn't like that decision either. I thought that Luis Castillo deserved the chance to get those final 2 outs. And, what's interesting, his start before this, Castillo, I believe, was the 7 shutout innings, right? Or if it wasn't that start, it was.
I think it was. Yes.
The outing before that, when he gets pulled, he gives Dan a little bit of the side eye, but it was kind of in a joking manner.
Like, oh, you're doing this to me,
yeah.
huh?
There was no joking from Luis Castillo today. He looked very upset, and he didn't pitch well enough to be justifiably angry, but I think he did well enough that he deserved to get those last 2 outs. I think that and here's the thing, bullpen usage mattered a lot today. And unfortunately, because they pull Castillo, justifiably or not, that's a subjective thing. It does end up hurting them today, right? Yeah. It does end up hurting them. And
I didn't think about that.
I thought he was okay. There was a play that probably should have been made on the Rowdy Tellez infield single before the home run by Higashioka, who apparently Aaron Goldsmith joked that he was Johnny Bench today. And he kind of was. He had one of his better offensive games. The swing and miss stuff wasn't really there, but there was enough weak contact. And boy, the Mariners were just burned with weak contact all day. I thought Luis Castillo was fine. It certainly wasn't one of his better starts, but there was nothing I saw from it that suggested long-term concern. I would have liked him to pitch better than he did today, but I would have given him through the 5th inning for sure.
Yeah, and I just think if you compare it to Merrill Kelly, who was incredibly efficient through his 5 1/3, maybe.
5 1/3, yeah, I believe.
So it looks a lot worse because that's what you're kind of being compared to, which I understand. And it's another one of those things we talked about with Logan Gilbert last night, where the expectations are higher, right? I think in general, I just expected more from him. He wasn't getting any chase. No one was swinging at his slider. They were fouling off his fastball a little too much. It was a weird one. And honestly, I am usually a big guy on Castillo. I'm pretty bullish on him and his performance and kind of letting him ride it out. And at the time, I was like, he hasn't looked great. I don't necessarily hate the decision for Dan Wills at the time. I didn't hate the decision to go to Vargas because it's he's not getting outs. And then Vargas looked great. It looked like it was a great decision off the rip. He gets, was it Corey Seager at that point in time to end the inning? And then he pitches another really good inning after that in the 6th. But you're right. I didn't think about how much it affected you later in the game because you ended up needing probably one more good reliever arm because Casey Legumina comes in and, again, we talked about, I said this while you were gone. It seemed like pretty unlucky with both him and Matt Brash with the soft contact.
Right.
But still, you need guys to miss bats more.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to, there's so much that can happen when a ball's put in play, right? Yeah. There's so many different things that can happen. And by the way, I will point out, I liked what Vargas did in the 6th inning. He got bailed out pretty good by a terrific play by Cole Young to get that double play in the 5th inning. Did not love the decision to have Carlos Vargas pitching in a pretty high leverage situation. High leverage, again, your mileage may vary as to what that is, but it was a big moment and he gets the job done, but his defense, there's a lot to thank there. But man, I have a lot to say about bullpen usage in this game. Okay. I'm going to save it for the second half.
All right. That sounds good. Mariners dropped this one. Offense, pretty anemic through the first 5 or whatever innings, and then you get a pretty lucky inning with the Merrill Kelly situation.
What in the world?
All of a sudden, things kind of start to go the right way for your Seattle Mariners. Actually, they just score in two different innings in this game.
Right. Yeah.
So and really on one swing was the one that you did, you earned is what I should say. The other one's just kind of Merrill Kelly just being weird. But all right, let's give some love to 5 Hour Energy, and then we'll kind of break down the later parts of the game, starting with the bullpen usage. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds great.
Okay. Can you start this one, Chris? I have to pull it up.
Sure. It's time to fuel up, and it's turn it up with a 5 Hour Energy transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot. Whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this one's a hole-in-one for your energy game.
let's be honest, some days on the course or off it, you just need that extra boost to stay sharp and energized. And honestly, I love this kind of promo crossover with golf because there's so many times when I'm playing golf and I just feel like, oh my God, whether it's just like for me, when I'm out in the sun for long portions of the day, my energy gets drained so quickly. So having a 5-hour energy, and I haven't tried this new flavor, but it sounds awesome. Transfusion is what it's called. So I'm totally down to give that a shot. And it's something that it's kind of been missing from my golf game when I'm out on the course.
Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors, of course. The grape, ginger, lime flavor gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the bev carb. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid through September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting with friends or turning 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion flavored 5-hour energy shots today.
Welcome back to the Mariners POSTCAST. Anderson Hurst, Chris Crawford with you. Mariners dropped this one 6-4 after going to extra innings with the Texas Rangers. Offense wasn't great today, but you end up battling back to get in the game multiple times. Let's start with the Merrill Kelly inning because through 5, he looked dominant, honestly. And it was a situation where I was expecting to come in and kind of yell at this offense a little bit, be like, guys, what are we doing? You were way too aggressive with this guy who was obviously just trying to paint the corners. And I get it's the same kind of thing with the Kyle Hendricks start against LA, right? It's like, it's a guy that you feel like you can square up because he doesn't have amazing stuff and you get excited. And it's just that you play right into his hands when you do that. I think these kind of starts are actually more problematic against this offense than the dominant aces, to be completely honest. I don't know about you.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say, like, Kelly's off-speed run values in the 98th percentile, his pitching run values in the 93rd percentile. He's pretty good. Like, guy with a 3.09 ERA. Now, doesn't excuse how bad they looked for the first 4 innings or 5 innings, excuse me, right? And then he just has 2 of the biggest brain farts that I've ever seen on the mound. One of them ends up not costing him, but the first one being not realizing how many times he had stepped off the mound and getting that balk to score a run. And then, Cal Raleigh, he can't be the unsung villain today, unfortunately.
He's the sung villain.
It was awful. It was awful today. He strikes out, and you have a runner on second, and then good for Julio Rodriguez. Lines that single that was going to score the run. Now, Garcia makes an error that allows Garcia to go to second base. It's 2-2. And then,
by the way, they changed the ruling on that. They called it a Julio double.
That's so stupid. I'm glad that Julio gets the extra base hit. That's so dumb. He does not get the second base on that play without that mistake. So then a runner on second base, and I believe it's Josh Naylor who hits the little ground ball to third base, and he tries to throw Julio out at third base for reasons that are...
It's 2 outs.
There's 2 outs. It's just a force out. It's the easiest play in the world, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And I was so upset they didn't take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So upset. So that's bad. The at-bats with the bases loaded in the 8th inning are worse. So, fast forward, 8th inning, Randy Arozarena, who plays hero in this game, right?
Yeah.
His at-bat in the 8th inning.
So let's get to that point first. Danny Plum comes in for the second straight day. Dom Canzone, another lefty hit.
Yeah.
Dude looks great right now against left-handed pitching, which is a great development. Dylan Moore comes in to pinch run for him. He steals second. Mitch Garver walks, works a good at-bat there. JP Crawford bunts. I want to get your thoughts on that. Let's actually start with that. JP Crawford's bunt, first and second, nobody out. What do you think about that decision?
Didn't like it. I get it. You got the top of the lineup coming up, but Crawford had made good contact a couple of times. And I would have liked to have seen him swing the bat there, knowing that, hey, then you've got Julio. You have Randy and you have Cal and you have Julio coming up with a chance to get hits afterwards, right? I would prefer that, especially like Cole Young, who draws another walk, and I love the patience that we're seeing there, but like, I would prefer just to let that guy swing the bat and see what the other guys can do, right? And unfortunately, both Julio, or golly, why do I keep wanting to say
Randy
Julio?
and Cal.
It's just in my head. Randy and Cal have just awful at bats, And it's so funny, by the way. I joked about this on Blue Sky. Yesterday, JP Crawford had one of the worst at bats I've seen with the bases loaded, and he hits a walk-off homer. Today, Randy Rosarina has one of the worst at bats I've seen with the bases loaded, and he hits a game-tying homer.
Yeah.
But the game should have been over before that. The game should have been over before that, because you really should have taken advantage of that situation.
Yeah.
It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. There are still things about this offense, and on top of that, some managerial decisions that are just driving me up the freaking wall.
All right, let's start with those, because I'm curious where you're gonna go with that.
So there's so much, but like, first of all, the decision to leave Caleb Ferguson until the very end of that game is driving me insane. It's literally driving me insane. Like, what are you doing? Why make that move? Why make that move? It doesn't. Jock Peterson was leading off that inning, and yeah Casey Legumina wasn't great today, and it wasn't all his fault. It wasn't all his fault. There was a lot of weak contact.
A lot of weak contact that ended up his hits. Yeah,
I want Caleb Ferguson pitching in that situation. It's not an insult to Casey Legumina that he's not as good as Caleb Ferguson.
Yeah,
it's not an insult at all. But before that, Dan Wilson is driving me insane with his decisions whether to play the infield in or play the infield back.
Okay.
What in the freaking world? Why in that situation, when you're down by a run in the top of the 10th inning, top of the 10th inning, just a little chopper to JP Crawford, that is an easy out at home plate if you have the infield in. Why are you not playing the infield in there, and you play the infield in the third freaking inning yesterday? That doesn't make any sense to me. It just makes, and there's just a ton of little things here that just drive me up the wall with Wilson, and it just doesn't seem like he has a ton of feel for what's going on, right? There's just moments where it seems like it's too big for him. Yeah. And you know, I saw a lot of people in the chat, and we sure do appreciate you guys coming out always, saying, suggesting fire Dan Wilson, and he can't do that. But man, if you don't make the postseason, you're going to be looking back on a lot of decisions and lack thereof decisions like there were today. I just really didn't like it.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with you, but I can see a little more with the decision to play them back in this moment than playing them up yesterday in the third inning, because it's one out. I guess you have the double play in order, and it's not if they're playing up. So that's the only reason I can think of that he's like, but you can't like pray for that outcome. You got to try and limit the runs. That's
my whole issue. My whole issue is managing for situations that may come doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. Manage for the situation that you're in right now. The situation that you're in right now is that you need to cut that runner off, right? And the thing is, if you do cut that runner off, you win the baseball game, because Randy Rosarina hits the home run, it like literally right after that moment. Yeah. So you just got to play for that situation. I'm okay with playing halfway, you know, and if something's chopped real quickly, then go ahead, go for that 6-4-3, right?
Yeah.
But you have to prioritize that out at home. You have to, because you can't afford to fall down by 2 runs. You can't afford that. I just really didn't like that decision at all.
And if maybe it's hard to tell, but maybe if you do that, we're talking about another walk-off home run today.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, which kind of hurts, to be honest. Like, I'm not throwing alarm bells anywhere. Like, oh my God, we're back. It sucks. No. Like, no, we're still riding the highs the last 2 nights. You're not going to win every baseball game. If you win 3 out of 4, it's still an amazing weekend. You just have to do that tomorrow now against Jacob deGrom, which has been hard for a lot of people. And you're throwing out Logan Evans. So there's a lot of things in this game where you can look and be like, dang, that's a missed opportunity. And I think that's the biggest thing. Both reality check and missed opportunity are the two phrases that I come back to for today's game.
Sure. And they, yesterday you took advantage or didn't take advantage. You were left off the hook from the missed opportunities, right? But tonight it wasn't. And that's not a surprise. It's hard to win 2 games in a row where you don't take advantage of the best situation. That is just, that's not good enough. It's not good enough. And boy, it'd be nice to win tomorrow. Really nice to win tomorrow. Can I give my unsung villain?
Yeah, I was about to ask. What's your unsung?
Man, I don't like it.
Yeah, I know where you're going because I was going to do it too.
It's Gino.
Yeah, it is.
Gino had a really bad day. Gino had a really bad day. He got some pitches down the middle of the plate that he didn't take advantage of. That strikeout in particular was pretty ugly on the changeup inside. Yeah, that and this is going to happen. This is going to happen, but and even Julio, he goes 1 for 5. That one hit, by the way, though, just real quick. I know I mentioned it. That catch he made in center field today was spectacular. I cannot tell you how hard that play is. That ball that's hit right over your head, that is such a difficult play. But you go 1 for 5, right? You go 1 for 5, and that's not good. You had your MVP candidate go 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts, right? And then your big trade acquisition, who is going to help the Seattle Mariners a lot, was not a helper today. It wasn't a helper today, and they needed better from Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go as well. And it just seemed like every one of those Ks was in a big moment too.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
I was just waiting for the roof to blow off. If he had hit a home run or if he got the go-ahead RBI, But yeah, that's a good shout. I'm going to go unsung moment because you mentioned the catch that Julio does make. I'm going to ask because it was really I was prepared to come in before he makes the catch. What was that in the 6th? I want to say maybe 7th inning. Because there was one almost exact same play
from Rowdy
in the 2nd inning where he doesn't make it. And I was like, dang, that seems to happen a lot with him where it goes right over his head. He's looking both ways and he doesn't know where to go. It falls in a place where you feel like he should catch it.
Right.
And I was about to, again, this is before he makes the catch later in the game.
Right.
I was about to ask you man, if I can have one complaint about Julio's defense, it's that specific play. Because it feels like it's happened quite a bit this year. And it's the one hole, he can get left or right. He can get back left, back right when he knows he has to turn a specific way. He has amazing range.
Sure.
He can get forward really, really well. But it seems like when it's straight behind him, he doesn't know which way to turn and he keeps going back and forth. He ends up finding it in the next one. But I'm just curious, is that something he can improve on? I'm not this expert in teaching outfield or anything. It's
no, only Angie Mentic is allowed to teach outfielders. Don't you know that? No, it's a really good question. That's just such a really hard play. And most center fielders struggle with it. It's if you ask them that the ball that's hit right above their head, that ball, it's so hard to track because it's straight, but nothing in baseball is actually straight. Right? Yeah. You have to guess basically where you're moving. The one thing I would say that I would like from Julio is maybe playing a little deeper outfield so that he doesn't have to do that. The Mariners want him to play shallow because of the fact that he can go get that range and because you cut off those hits, right? Sure. You have a chance to make those plays that are hit in front. And so, that's a really good question. But what I would just say is that that's a play any center fielder struggles with. The fact he actually made the catch that he did is much more impressive than the fact that he didn't catch that one from Tellez. That's a really good question.
No, I was just honestly, because maybe it's just a luck factor where it's that specific play I feel like I've seen happen more often this year than I've. And it's just, and then he of course shuts me up and it's oh, okay, so you can make that catch. Never mind. I'm just gonna make sure
it's just
stick
such
to
a
YouTubing, not teaching baseball. Quick little chat here from Cinnabon. Cal has single-handedly won multiple games. He's allowed to have a stinker here and there, guys. Yes, but he's besides the home run 2 days ago. He's been pretty bad lately. And it's gonna happen. And I'm not saying that he's the reason why you lost this game, or he's the biggest hole in the lineup right now, or anything like that. No, you're gonna go through these ups and downs, but we react to what we saw. He was probably the worst hitter in the lineup today, and like pretty handedly, him and Gino for sure.
Yeah. Both of those guys just were really bad today. And, I'll point out, like, I was just looking at this yesterday because I was writing it up for NBC Sports. He hit 194 with a 767 OPS in July. Like, that's not elite. That's not even close to elite. Now, he's done more than enough in those other 2 months that he's due for. If your bad month is a 767 OPS, you're doing really, really good work, especially when you consider he's behind the plate.
Yeah.
My one thing I will point out is the numbers suggest it too. Big Dumper ain't the same guy when he's designated hitter. He is just not the same guy. Like, I should have the stats right in front of me, but I didn't know we were going to.
Well, and it's not like you're inserting this this impactful bat for him when you Mitch flippin' Garver looks terrible right now again.
Mitch Garver was really bad today, and that's something you're going to have to pay close attention to is how Harry Ford is doing in AAA. Right?
I mean,
because he's got to be better. He's got to be better. And I will just say this, like. So I know the reason why Cal Raleigh is catching today or isn't catching today. It's because they played a night game last night and they play a day game today.
Day game after a night game, they always don't do it.
And so, that's totally fine. Just let the guy have a day off.
Yeah.
Just let the guy have a day off. And that's where Dan Wilson has to say, because Big Dumper, I'm sure, is screaming that I want to be in the lineup.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be the guy that tells the guy that he's not allowed, right?
Yeah.
It's okay for Cal Raleigh to have a day off. Oh, by the way, Dylan Moore's drop in the outfield would be my unsung moment. Holy crap on a cracker.
Doesn't hurt you.
Oh, thank God it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
And here's one thing I'll give Dan Wilson credit for. Something that I have not seen teams take advantage of. Bringing in Dylan Moore to pinch run after the engagement. Yeah. Because did you see the jump he was able to get because of that? More teams should do that. After the engagement stuff, if you know that they can't make the pickoff move, you have a huge advantage there. So kudos to Dan Wilson for that one.
Yeah.
Anti-kudos, Soduk, I guess that would be what it would be, the reverse of the kudo to everything else he did. This was not my favorite Dan Wilson game.
Yeah, it's funny because I think last night might have been Dan's best game of the season, where he
no run scored Cinnabon, just real quick. That's how it didn't hurt you. Right. It hurt you, but it didn't end up actually causing anything
affecting the game, because Munoz still gets out of it in the ninth inning. Yes,
correct.
So that's why it didn't hurt us. But lots of things to talk about from this game. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. The Mariners still have a chance to win 3 out of 4 against the team you're in the battle for with a wild card spot. The other positive from today, Houston loses again. So you're not losing any ground besides to Texas, who you've already won.
And to Boston, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it just depends on where you're looking, because Boston.
Yeah, that's the thing when these teams are so close together and playing with each other, right? Like, but I would much rather have Houston lose, right?
I would too.
The fact that
at this point in the year,
the fact Houston kind of looks train wreck adjacent right now is not my least favorite thing. So
not at all.
Yeah, but go win tomorrow. Go take back that 2-game lead on Texas, and hopefully some more good stuff happens.
Let's get a good start from Logan Evans. He's had a lot of question marks, more question marks than exclamation points, so to speak.
This is a huge test.
This is a big test, man. Big moment for him.
There are some really good offensive players in that Texas lineup, and in particular, Corey Seager.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do. If you can get 5 innings of 2-run baseball, I would be ecstatic, but you may need him to go deeper than that because of how many guys he had to use today, right? Like, Brash isn't going to be used in 3 straight games, right?
By the way, he looks kind of shaky right now.
He does not miss the bats the way I want him to miss the bats, and that is much more compliment, again, to Matt Brash than insult, right?
Yeah.
But he's just not getting those swings and misses the same way, right? Like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating because he's talk about being a victim of expectation, right? Like, when you have that slider, I expect you to put up a 35% swing and miss rate at least. And as of late, it just hasn't been there. Yep, I'm with you there. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Another 1:05, I think. First pitch tomorrow for the Mariners as Logan Evans goes up against Jacob deGrom. Last word, Chris Crawford, before we get out of here. Play better.